For centuries, Americans believed their nation was shaped not in cities or capitals, but on the frontier. The vast lands beyond the settled East offered danger, opportunity, and constant change. This moving boundary between civilization and wilderness did more than expand territory, it forged the American identity itself. The frontier built America, not through legend alone, but through struggle, ambition, and transformation. From the earliest colonial days, the frontier represented escape and possibility. European settlers pushed westward in search of land and independence. Dense forests, rivers, and mountains tested their endurance. Survival demanded self-reliance, cooperation, and adaptability. These traits slowly became national ideals, celebrated as uniquely American. After independence, westward expansion accelerated. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the nation's size overnight, opening millions of acres to settlement. Explorers like Lewis and Clark mapped unknown territories, while trappers and traders established routes that settlers would later follow. The frontier was no longer just a place, it was a process, constantly moving west. Farmers played a central role in shaping the frontier. Drawn by cheap land and government promises, families traveled in wagons across dangerous trails. They built homes from raw materials, cleared fields, and formed small communities. Towns grew around farms, bringing schools, churches, and local governments. Democracy took root where neighbors depended on one another to survive. The frontier also fueled America's economic rise. Natural resources, timber, gold, coal, and fertile soil powered growth. Gold rushes transformed remote regions into booming centers almost overnight. Railroads followed, linking frontier towns to national markets. These connections turned isolated settlements into engines of industry and trade, helping the United States emerge as a global power. Yet the frontier's growth came at a devastating cost. Native American tribes had lived on these lands for thousands of years. As settlers advanced, treaties were broken and violence spread. Forced removals like the Trail of Tears uprooted entire nations. Military campaigns destroyed resistance and confined survivors to reservations. The frontier that built America also destroyed indigenous worlds. Slavery and race further complicated frontier expansion. Enslaved African Americans were forced west with plantation owners, extending slavery into new territories. The struggle over whether new states would allow slavery helped ignite the Civil War. After emancipation, Black Americans sought opportunity on the frontier, but faced discrimination, exclusion, and violence. Women were equally vital yet often overlooked. On the frontier, women labored alongside men farming, running businesses, educating children, and holding families together. Frontier life blurred traditional gender roles, offering women new responsibilities and, in some cases, greater independence. Their contributions were essential to building stable communities. By the late 19th century, the frontier began to disappear. Railroads crisscrossed the land, barbed wire fenced open spaces, and federal authority reached even the most remote regions. In 1890, the U.S. Census declared the frontier closed. What had once been a shifting edge of settlement became a settled nation. Even so, the frontier's influence endured. The idea of constant renewal, risk-taking, and individual freedom remained central to American culture and politics. The frontier shaped attitudes toward government, opportunity, and identity. It encouraged innovation, but also justified conquest and inequality. The frontier that built America was neither purely heroic nor entirely cruel, it was both. It created opportunity while spreading injustice, fostered democracy while enabling displacement. To understand America, one must understand the frontier not as a myth of endless freedom, but as a powerful force that shaped the nation's character, contradictions, and enduring struggle to live up to its ideals.